Welcome to the Wicked Gamer and Collector. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in today's video we are going to enter the Pandora jungle once again. Because we have a new Pandora box, it's called the Pandora DX. And they're saying, the nightmare battle continues. And the question is, what are we going to get with this, and did they fix the previous mistakes they made with the Pandora Box 6? That's something I'm going to test out. But what are we going to get with this version? This is the game system, so basically what you're going to get is a main board, controllers. Depends a little bit what kind of controller. Bought both so I can show you. And just talk about Pandora Box, the jungle. Alright, so let's do a little bit of wrap up. What are we going to get? So we're going to get the system itself. This is the main board where all the magic happens. As you can see over here, we're having this little SanDisk. It's a 60 gigabyte that contains the files. Or better said, here you need to add your games. Alright, as you can see, here we have this little jumper over here. Sometimes they're giving you this little switch, but they're just using jumper. So it goes on when you're putting it up or sticking the cable in. Alright, so a little bit of a funny thing, RetroRalph already mentioned it, is that there is no power supply. Yeah, don't ask me why, but this is just using a 12 volt power supply. 3 amp will be the best thing, but keep in mind that you need to buy it separately. So basically what you're going to get with what you can order, I basically ordered them both. Okay, I just wanted to show you that with the game system you can order it with a wireless controller, or you can order it with a wired controller. To say correctly, yeah, wired. But you're getting the point. So what you're going to get is this, let's say, chemical controller. It's a PlayStation 2 ripoff. We're having here the on and off switch. It works on 2 AAA batteries. They're basically the same control they're always giving you with these systems, and they're all working with one single dongle. Yeah, that's it. But if you want to order the wired edition, you think, I don't want the wireless and the batteries and all the stuff. That is pretty unique. As you can see over here, we're having one USB cable and 2 controllers. And what you can see, that the cable from the first controller goes in the second one, and then we're having the USB connection. So pretty unique. Same story applies with the wireless version. Not to compare it with the original controllers, they're just cheap knockoffs. The question will remain, how will they play? The D-pad feels quite awful to compare with the original one. But yeah, the UCOM controllers, one of the common controls you're always going to get with these Pandora boxes. Oh, and one thing, if you want to build this thing in your arcade machine, or you want to do, let's say, an arcade one-up upgrade, you can also get the original cable tree. That is highly recommended. Hey, there is no toilet paper manual this time. No. Oh yeah, they sent me by email, that was it. It was not in stock. Before we're going to power it on, I just wanted to talk about a little bit more of the Pandora box for the people who are new to this product. So what you're going to get at the back, as you can see over here, this is the Family Edition. So keep in mind you're having 2 versions, the Yama Edition and Family. The Family is for basically putting in your arcade machine or the dual plug and play arcade machine, or you can just use it like this. But what you're going to get is the input for 12 volt, HDMI, VGA output, so it's pretty cool. You can use an old VGA monitor. If you're using the VGA, you shall need to use the audio output, or you need to attach a little audio speaker over here. That is an option with the Family. We're having the scrolling wheel for adjusting volume, the setting button. What I understand, if you're holding the button and powering on, it will choose between resolutions. Personally, I never got it to work. And here we're having 2 USB connections. And there is something that you need to know. The USB drive or the thumb drive needs to be in the bottom connection. If you put it in if you put them in the top one, it will not work and you're going to get an error message. So just saying it. So we're having only one USB connection. And when I'm making the 4-player edition video, I will see if I can, let's say, use a little USB hub on this board and can add 2 sets of controllers, or in total 4 controls, so we can play the 4-player and 3-player games. Alright, so let's open the case and let's talk about the Pandora box itself, because there are some quite new, unique things. First of all, they are using the Pandora box logo here on the PCB. That is the first thing that I have seen it. So they're also using this passive cooling, and I think that is not a smart thing, because I did use it for quite some time now and it's getting really, really hot. So if you're using this thing for a couple of years, I don't know, it will survive the heat. I can see that they are not using an SD card anymore, and that is also a new thing, because in the previous models we also had an SD card, not for the games but for the firmware. So that's something that is very interesting. So what happens if we, let's say, for example, put the files of the SD card or the flash card on the SD and put it in the Pandora box. Alright, I'm set up, ready, boot up, let's go.
The nightmare battle continues.
So what is really convenient with the controllers, you can just plug and play. You don't need any configuration at all. So the device is the 3001, and what you already can see that they changed some things out. First of all, they did create a new layout, or a layout of the background basically. And we're having now a 3D, and a very nice decal with the three-dimensional games. When pressing left or right, you go to the next page. As you can see, there are quite some different games and a lot of double games. So what they're doing with the Pandora Box 9 and putting double games. Sometimes you have these hack games like boss that you can play with the bosses. I have no problem with that. More like a homebrew hacked game. I love it. But at the end, when you're having these double games, yeah, it's just more like a naughty cheating list. Okay, pressing up and down, you can see it changes also the little preview over there. Pressing the start button, you're gonna get the categorize system. They changed some things out over here. We're having now search like the previous model. We're having the recent list over here. We're having three-dimensional games. We even have a little categorized thing with 3 and 4 player. But what you already can see with this is that we're having a lot of double games. So I think there were around 100 games supporting the 3 and 4 player mode. But at the end, you're going to get a handful. And then we have all the other stuff, like the previous model. We can go to the Sport games by pressing the number 1 or triangle if you're a PlayStation player. You go to the menu here and you can choose your game. The question remains, did they still mess the things up? For example, with the PlayStation, we can save that things that we're going to test out. But nevertheless, let's go to the settings menu. So let's see what happens here. Pressing the little button. So a little thing, as you can hear, we're having different song now. And the reason why, because first of all, the thing that was original on the settings menu, it was a copyrighted song. And nowadays we can just swap the intro, change the music at the background, so that's pretty convenient. Alright, so we're having EO testing. There are not a lot of new things here. For the people just new to this product, you can see we're having custom buttons. The problem with this is that you can change your buttons, but basically for every game. So it's not you can say I want to change my buttons for a certain game. That's not possible, it's just only for the full emulator. Game settings. Let's go into the game settings. You can change the difficulty. I did notice some people had problems with it, that it didn't work. As you can see, we can even remove games, or you say I don't want to see the double games, you can go through the list, you can change everything out if you want to. Alright, so let's say I want to display all, or I want to say I want to remove this game. So that is a possibility. The only thing that I really hate about it, as you can see, they're saying A, B, C, D, and we don't have these buttons. We're having on the controllers 1 to 4. I think the colors are exactly the same, or let's see, display all. No, the colors are basically all different. Yeah, okay. Bookkeeping, that's only if you're having this in an arcade machine. You can turn the internal speaker when you're having this in a Pandora machine on and off. Alright, so let's talk about the game settings, because here are quite some new interesting things. So for example, we have all the other features like with the previous games, like how you exit, and you name it, it's here. But with the quality optimization, we're having some new options. We can just turn it off, like the previous models, but we can turn scan lines on. So I'm going to do a separate capture where you can see the difference between the scan line option and without, and including the quality optimization. The first thing that they changed out compared with the previous Pandora box is that now we're not going to load into the character select screen. So that is something that is new. But that's the second question, can we save the game? So before making this video, I did some testing. So I went to the test mode. And this is not normal because everything is normally green. And as you can see over here, for example, when we're changing it to easy, going back, you see it's still on easy. We're going to load up, card load, it says load OK. And we're going back to option, you see it's back on very hard. So that is a very good thing. So it seems to be the save function has been fixed. Alright, so what is a little bit of a shame, including a preview, they didn't fix the previous issues. We don't have any background song with the Tekken game. It can be fixed very easily, but it is something that is a little bit of a shame if you ask me. They also included a save load function. Saving and loading take quite some time, and fun fact, when you're booting up Mortal Kombat 1, I will show you a little bit later, you can see that the save function does work. So the problem with the Pandora 3D, I can recall it, is that we had save function but not for every single emulator. And they also have this problem with the Pandora DX. Alright, so let's take a close look at Mortal Kombat. So this is the real arcade version, and let's press the select button. As you can see, there is no quick load, quick save. It's very strange. It's so strange that they did it. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's boot it up. And man, it's having no screen tearing, but it runs not really smooth, to be honest. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's see how the deep work works. Oh, I can't get my move out. But you can see that it doesn't runs very smooth. It runs a little bit choppy. No, don't clap, it's not good. Alright, so what I'm noticing that are quite different sound levels in the games. And with the Pandora Box 6, I hope you can hear it, but the sound is not like it should be. The sound effect like shooting it out here, but you can hear with the sound of the background song, it's very slow. And that is not how it should be. All the sound effects are here, as you can see, but and can hear, but it's just not like it should be. For example, the dance. Where's the song? It's not here, so they messed it up and they didn't improve the main emulator. Freaking with my jump button. The PlayStation 1 runs pretty decent. All the sound effects are here. Fun thing is that with the save function for the PlayStation do work. Strange, don't you think so? That with the Mortal Kombat 1 it has a problem, but with PlayStation we can save like quick load, quick save, and then we have the normal save function. Alright, so this is what you're going to get with the Pandora box DX. They did the effort to putting in some new stuff. For example, we can play 8-bit and 16-bit, and those games run pretty fine. We can still not change the aspect ratio. Nope, they don't give a shit, it seems to be. And let's change the save function with the PlayStation 1. But still there are some minor issues, and that is a little bit of a downside. There are not a lot of new, let's say, next generation consoles. For example, no Dreamcast, no PSP, for example, if it comes to emulation. Nowadays we can just add all the files on the USB drive, so the thumb drive, that is very convenient. So that's what you're going to get if it comes to emulation and all the performance. So the emulation itself is not perfect. I did point out with Blood Bros, you can see that it's missing out sound effects, and it is an issue that has been existing for a very long time. So that's what you're going to get. If you have any questions, you can also leave it in the comments. I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and don't miss out any Wicked videos, because I have a lot of great stuff coming up. And if you do so, and you hit the little bell, I will see you in the next video.